global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. Happy new month to you. It looks like a lot is happening, especially in our economy. And PeterObi have decided also not to keep quiet because it's getting out of hand. He seems to be the lone voice really who is saying the danger that most Nigerians or most political leaders are not seeing at all. Of course, the likes of Shehu Sani have also lent a voice to it, insisting that we are actually just a little step close to economic slavery, and is giving the leaders warning they need to tread softly. PeterObi already is telling Nigerians, hey, it is not business as usual. We are trending a very terrible situation. Well, before we go to the newspaper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. We actually started over the weekend with telling the leaders that if you are telling Nigerians too fast and you are feasting, the fasting should actually start from you. And he went further to tell us in his social media handle by saying that I have consistently maintained that borrowing is not inherently problematic as long as it is utilized for productive purposes that drive economic growth and development. The recent report at the end of the first quarter indicates a significant increase in our government's borrowing, reaching a staggering 121.86 trillion naira. This rapid accumulation of debt is alarming. And if this borrowing trend continues at this current rate, we can expect that the total to surpass 150 million, 150 trillion naira by the end of this year. The fact that several trillions was borrowed in just 3 months highlights the urgent need for prudent management of our finances. It is crucial to recognize that the purpose of borrowing is paramount. If the borrowed funds are used for consumption or misallocated, we risk worsening our economic situation, perpetuating a cycle of debt and hindering our ability to achieve sustainable economic growth and development. On the other hand, the funds are channeled into productive endeavors such as infrastructural development, education, healthcare, and entrepreneurship. We can expect positive outcomes that benefit our economy and citizens in the long run. As I recall, the law governing borrowing is explicit, requires detailed explanations of the intended use, the timing, and other relevant parameters. It is very essential to ensure that borrowed funds are allocated efficiently and effectively to drive economic growth, create jobs, and improve the standard of living of the majority of our citizens. I respectfully request same for accountability for the massive borrowings which have burdened our nation's future for the sake of our children and unborn generations. Transparency and good governance, a detailed breakdown of how these funds are being utilized and demonstrate their tangible impact on our country's growth and development should be provided. In conclusion, I urge policymakers and stakeholders to exercise caution and prudence in managing our national debt, ensuring that borrowing is utilized for productive purposes that benefit our economy and citizens. By doing this, we can promote sustainable economic growth, development, and prosperity for all Nigerians for generations to come. Our future stability and prosperity depends on our prudent management of resources. This is coming from PeterObi. Then, of course, let's find out what Shehu Sani is saying concerning this matter as well, because he has lent a voice. But this time around, he's sending a very strong note of warning to all. Debt to GDP ratio crossing the 50% mark is a disturbing signal for the economy. Getting into the trap of IMF, that's International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank is easier than getting out of it. Debt slavery is on the horizon. We must be careful. But the question now is, will they be? PeterObi is talking, other women in Nigeria are talking. This has nothing to do with opposition. It has nothing to do with politics. It has everything to do with Nigeria and her sovereignty. It has everything to do with Nigerians living in Nigeria and the fact that we have a lot at stake. And we may have gotten our sovereignty, politically and all, but when you have the economic slavery as debts coming in and we are mismanaging it, that's why you see the likes of PeterObi. They keep shouting, hey, it's too prudent, it's too this, it's too that. That's the kind of prudence we need. We keep borrowing. You see, there's nothing in itself is wrong with borrowing, but when you borrow for economic purpose and development and you judiciously use it, that's the same thing we're talking about with what is happening in FCT, where there's been a lot of outcry by the indigenous and citizens of FCT Abuja insisting that there are a lot of project, major, big, mighty project going on in Abuja, but the people are not feeling it, especially those living in the suburbs, in the interiors. The roads are being constructed, and to tell you the truth, in all honesty, building a VP's lodge, that's Vice Presidential Lodge, for 21 billion naira. The question is it worth it? Is that lodge going to bring economic value? Are they putting it on rentage? Are we going to be getting economic dividend from it every month, every day? Of course, to me, it's pure luxury. And a lot of Nigerians, women in Nigeria, believe that it's one white elephant project that should have been done in the days and time of the former president Muhammadu Buhari. They said, according to Osibanjo, he said it was actually was completed about 80% thereabout, but he didn't want to leave them because they have other pertinent issues. So, which means between that 80% and now, how many billion we crossed from thousands to millions to hundreds of millions to billions? Come on, what was used to build a place? Is it something that will take us to paradise? And in this kind of economy that Nigerians this economy is biting, and they say we should tighten our seatbelt, we should sacrifice, we should fast, and they are feasting. Is this the best time for all of this? I thought prudence would have been the order of the day. I thought even the senators would have considered, reduction in their monies. The inflation is rising. It looks as if these guys really don't understand the dynamics of the economic problems we're heading to. And we keep borrowing. So just very recently, PeterObi talked about the issue of running 4 budgets concurrently. And they came and debunked that there's no such thing. Let's hope truly that there's no such thing. But even if there is, how do we come out of this? We need the best hands with the best prudency here. And if anyone is caught, siphoning money, it's not a case of jailing. Please don't jail the person. We don't need jail time. We don't need it. Please, they should return back. They recover the money. Don't jail anybody right now. We need the monies back, because the truth is, if eventually Nigeria goes into debt slavery at some point, these guys, if eventually this money find their way into their pockets, they can actually travel to any part of the world where they can give some level of leverage if they're coming to invest. I think Malta is one of those such countries. And the next thing you see them and their generations are born, they've gone. The only thing that just will say is, God will reward you. But actually, they have got into something that we have no business going to, with the level of natural resources Nigeria is bestowed by God and nature. Well, that's going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our conversation, please. You can ignore the messenger if you like, if you don't like him, but please don't forget the message. It concerns all Nigerians, both living in Nigeria and in diaspora. There is no place like home. Let's meet in our conversation once to take. Have a nice time.
Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global.